Hi there, my name's Casey Cowell, and today I'm doing this video because I want to get something off my chest about something, and that's something that's been bothering me, and something that's happened to me for the past 3 years since I left Barnsley College when I was 19. And first off, I'd like to talk about those days because uh, I want to get if I, I'm stuttering because I'm a bit nervous doing this video. As you can tell now, I'll try my best to explain it in a better way as possible for you. And when during my days in level 2 in film media at Barnsley College, that's what I was studying, level 2 film media. I was about to finish it, and during my about when I was doing my final, it was my last project at level 2. My dad, passed away, uh, and when that happened, I completely got torn apart by it. He's the one that got me into films. If I had a problem, what's bothering me on my mind, I always talk to him, and he was always helped me. A very misunderstood man, who also will suffer through many mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and paranoid personality disorder and even clinical depression. And when he died, it completely changed me, and I know that it will affect me really bad. And after I finished level 2, and I know that on my mind, I was just like, you know what, my dad will want me to fulfill my dreams, and that's what I'm gonna do. I was finished college, go to uni, and hopefully become a filmmaker, director slash screenwriter. That was my dream. Then came level 3 in film media, and it mentally I changed badly, and all that was because I won't go all in detail why how I've been felt for the past 3 years. I won't go in all full detail, but I will discuss some of them to you. And uh, during my level 3, I was constantly taken advantage of and bullied by my tutor. I won't say his name out of respect, but any teachers from Barnes College that are friends with me on Facebook who might watch this video, if you want to send me a message and discuss about it, I'll be happily to do that with you about what happened and so and so. I can remember the second year at level 3, I was just getting constantly worse. I would slowly change into a different person, and during classes, I would when the tutor's teaching, I would walk out in the middle of it because I was constantly depressed. I was depressed, and everybody in class was like shocked by it. I don't know if you were or you cared, but they probably made a lot of assumptions that I was just in an angry mood, which I was. But I left that class, and because I was constantly depressed, and after that day, I didn't come. After that, I didn't come in for at least 4 days. But I was encouraged by my mother to go back in and finish it, which I did. And when I got my last grade, which was a high pass, but I aimed to merit, and I was really kind of disappointed, but I knew I was going to get it because I honestly believe that my tutor purposely gave me a low grade because he didn't like because he didn't like me, and in my honest opinion about him, I honestly think he's a narcissist. a really narcissistic person. I honestly think he gave me a low grade. And after all that, when I got my grade, I was driving home with my mum. She was driving me back home, and I was really upset. Not with a grade. I just started shouting from the top of my lungs. I was punching the car, front of the car. I was trying elbowing outside window in a moving car, yelling, "I want to die. I don't want to be on this earth anymore. I don't want to live." I was even telling my mum, "Can you please kill me? Could you please kill me?" And then she had to ring, I think, mental health services at police to calm me down. And I was taken to Pinderfields Hospital. In my honest opinion about that hospital is, I did not like it at all. I thought the nurses treat people with mental health problems horribly. Even the mental health professionals that came, they gave a vibe that did not care about me. They didn't at all. They just gave me a cliched questions. I attempted suicide by jumping out of a car. Tried to, but I couldn't. And then after that, I think this is when, during lockdown happened, I think when lockdown happened, I then I think I attempted another suicide by tried taking an overdose. I don't know what pills there were, but I think I took about 6 or 5, because again I wanted to die so bad. I didn't want to be on this earth, and I was rushed to Pinderfields Hospital again, in the same outcome again. They didn't care, and when I got back home, my personality changed really bad, because at one point I could have been one of the nicest people you ever meet, and then I went to a nasty person really quick, because depression was getting worse. I hated everybody that come across with me. I did not like nobody. I said some horrible things I'm not proud of. And because I didn't care about his feelings or what they thought of me, because I was going through a really, really bad change. And then uni came along. At first, my mum, she suggested I should take a break and not jump to uni straight away, and I thought that was a good idea, because I thought I could do with a good rest. Turns out it didn't give me a rest, it got worse. But when I applied for Manchester Film School, it was a place I really wanted to go, and I thought it gave good vibes. I was looking forward to moving. I thought moving to an apartment on myself would help me better mentally, but it turned out it made it a lot worse. I thought I really wanted to go, but back in my head I know that I didn't. It was a bad idea, because I wasn't mentally right, but my dreams kind of got in the way, and I really wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a filmmaker. After I applied, I came to my mum again and said I still don't want to be on this earth. And she tried saying, "Case, I don't think you should go to uni." Look, like again, the passion got in way again. So I went, got my own apartment, got my own stuff. I knew I wasn't going to fit in, because the one thing I was worried about was, in today's days, filmmaking in society has got really woke. I was afraid of cancel culture. I was afraid that what I was going to say might offend people and take me the wrong way. And it turns out I think that was exactly what happened. Straight away, people just didn't. I think people misunderstood me because also I suffer from autism as well, and I don't like to really lose that skill. I don't like telling anybody, and when I tell people, they're like shocked that I am autistic because to them I just sound normal. It's because I'm putting it on for them because I don't want to see the real me. I even do it with my mum, my brothers. I do it all the time. It's gone to a point where I've become a different person because I've been putting it on in my life, and because if you do see the real self, I know the fact people will not talk to me from a fact. And no matter how much you care about others, I know for a fact you will not want to talk to me if you saw the real self of me because I'd be too much for you. So in my uni days, there was this particular lad that had a grudge against me, and I also had a grudge against him because what he did to me, but not anymore. I've moved on, which I'm glad I did, and it was in my nightmare about woke and all this cancel culture. People became a reality when he came along because everything I said he didn't like. When I didn't agree, when I said something that I said he did not agree, and he kept trying to force his opinions on me. I don't want to go like political stuff that I didn't want to talk about because politics kind of made me feel ill and depressed. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want none of it. But he kept forcing his opinions on me. He kept nudging me. He implied that I was a racist. I came from I'm a kind of old-fashioned type of lad. I like old music. I like old films. I like when I meet women, I always say, "All right, love." I'm really that kind of bloke because I come from a really small village. It's really proper working class. So you could say a really 1950s kind of village. But he said that to me. But he implied I was a racist. I know he did. And during the day, we had a debate about a film. I felt disappointed in myself because he kind of bait me into that debate. I said something, and he purposely called me a racist, saying I said a racist comment, and I didn't. And after that, I was so angry. I knew from that on, I didn't want to be at that uni anymore because I'm always painted as this bad person already. And while I was in Zoom calls with him after meeting him, like get to know him as like a group during the night with Zoom calls, we'd play games and talk to each other. And throughout those Zoom calls, I can't remember him because I was so drunk. Because I would constantly drink alcohol, which is common in people with depression. I would buy beer that I didn't like. Any beer I like, I just buy it. I even bought a Scotch, and I despise Scotch. I don't like Scotch. I bought it because I wanted something strong to get, remove my memories, my thoughts, and during my days when I was depressed, I've blown up to 17 stone. I went from after I left college, I was like 12 stone or something, and I would eat nothing but junk food, drink sugary drinks. I didn't care about my body, didn't care about anything. I ballooned up to 17 stone, 16 and a half. While I was at Manchester, I would constantly buy McDonald's and Subway and just eat that shit crap and drink alcohol. And during Zoom calls, if I might have said some offensive things or mixed with my sense of humour, I didn't think they got my sense of humour, but I might have said some things, and if I did offend them, I apologise for that because that wasn't me. That was me because I was that depressed and drunk. I didn't know what I said, and during that time when he accused me of racism, when he was baiting me, uh, I was definitely not in a good mood. I was back at class, minding my own business, and he was talking blah blah blah, and he was reading about a book about 70s, and I said this, I'd rather live in 70s than I'd rather live in 70s now than the year we're living in now. I just said that. If I want to think that, that's what I want to think. And he didn't like that. I don't know why. And he started lecturing me. He called me narrow-minded. He said he made some snide remarks about me not understanding sarcasm as well. And he knew that I was autistic. And I told him that people struggle with sarcasm. And he made jokes about that. And when he were calling me all them names, on my mind I was just thinking, could you please leave me alone? Could you please leave me alone? And reason why is because I was just contemplating about killing myself. That's all I could think of when he would. I was in my one will, contemplating, should I jump in the middle of the road of moving cars? Should I find something to hang myself in my own apartment? And and he just will not. My mannerisms did not. I would have thought his mannerisms, like my mannerisms where I'm sitting and all that, I like would have got a message to him. I'm not really bothered because just leave me alone. But he just kept nudging me every single time, and to the point he won. I got into. I fell for his bait, and we had a debate and over a film, and it was just childish, really. And I walked out angry. I apologised for people at class. I don't know if he did, but I did, for that stupid debate. And so when I left, I decided to leave uni and chose a different path, which is boxing. It came a shock to me, mum and probably my brothers and that. And when I did say that, I said, you know what, if I stay in this uni, I was just going to be more depressed and more depressed. I'll get overweight. I will never lose weight. So I chose to become a boxer now, and ever since that, I lost weight. I got more healthier, and I did it because I wanted to get rid of my depression. I wanted to get myself back on feet. And when I did left, I told that lad what I thought of him, and what he did was, like yada on messengers, and he was really arrogant. He didn't own up to what he did was wrong. He thought he was better than me. He thought he was better than me. He said I was brought up wrong. He basically insulted my mum and dad where they brought me up. He said it's just where you're brought up. People just did not want to talk to you. Yeah, that's what he said. He didn't want to talk to me. At first I thought because I was a working class type lad, but turns out it wasn't that. That's probably why. And I just thought, fuck it, there's no point debating because you never win in a debate, especially with those type of people. If you give them facts, anything, there's one, and when you know you're, my dad always just said to me, "Case when you know you're right, just leave it." And that's really hard. I do struggle for that, and it turns out I did the right thing, just leave it, because it's going to make me even worse. And for people out there, and the worst thing is, he said because reason why he said that because I didn't care much about what social issues, what's going on, about racism, about sexism, about all these things that's going on in the world. I'm not really bothered about, because I was suffering from a real bad social issue myself, which is depression. and I didn't want to get myself involved in that. And the funny thing is, when he contradicted himself once, because and I couldn't deal with it. I had to leave, because if I didn't probably leave, I probably would have killed myself. And I just want to get this message out to people, every man who's suffering from depression, schizophrenia and all that. A lot of people just the thing about, there's so much ignorance goes on in people with mental illnesses, and it's so easy for people to judge those people because it's something you can't see. It's the reason why not many people talk about it as much, and people don't talk about, they don't realise how bad it is. Depression, people don't realise how bad it is until they get it, until they get diagnosed with it. Any form of mental illness, and that's when their opinions change drastically. And when I was drinking, I was just dying for help inside. I said I didn't want it, but I did need it. And I was cut out from group, all because I was that depressed. It kind of ruined my life. And I'm glad that I took up this boxing, because if I didn't, I'd probably be dead by now. And so anyhow, that's just that was my story, and I'm glad I explained certain things that might help people in the future who's got it. And don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid. I know why people don't do it, because I didn't do it, because I know if I did do it, then people just said I'm just making an excuse for myself, I'm just there being attention seeking. There's a lot of attention seeking in this world that people give so much attention to, and people with mental illness don't. I don't know why they don't, because mental illness is probably one of the worst things you can ever have ever. Emotional pain is worse than physical pain. Improving it, it's worse. And I think people, or mental health professionals, and anybody like that needs to get a message towards people. They need to teach these kids in school about how to treat people with mental illness and all that, because it's a massive social issue that people don't really say much about. And it all when they do mention it, it just feels like they're scraping under the barrel at last minute. And anyhow, that's my message. You don't forget. Don't be afraid to speak out about it. Bye.